Sonny and Cher got divorced, I was 5. I was 5. And it broke my heart. It freaked me out. It's like divorce is the biggest evil of, it's just something that saddened me. I remember when Sonny and Cher got divorced when I was 6. And it rattled me. It was real. Sonny and Cher getting a divorce, devastating.
Get over yourself.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday night. We are talking Sister Wives, and it is the first one-on-one episode that we are going to discuss together tonight. I hope you all saw it. If you didn't, don't worry. We will basically cover it. My review will totally cover it. I was out of town, as you know, this weekend, and I didn't get in until late Monday night. So I started recording my response today. I'm a little sick, so I took nap breaks in between. So I'm not done recording it all yet. And then I have to edit it. But I want to cover everything. It's hard to just phone it in and say, right, this'll do. I'll just talk straight about it and just upload it. I should. Anyway. So I will get to you what I can when I can. We'll see how long I can hang on tonight. Hopefully I won't cough too much. I took cough medicine, so I don't cough that much into the microphone here this evening. Okay. Who is here? We have Caroline R. Hello, sister friends. Yes, Stephanie is here. Lynn Skinner is here. And thank you, Lynn, for moderating our lovely sister friend channel. Although everybody's so wonderful, not a lot of moderating needs to happen, but I appreciate her being here and doing what she can, because every now and then, riffraff sneaks in. All right. Yeah, I got the thumbnail up late because I was thinking I would have more than enough time to do my review and record it online. I'm afraid it's going to be really long. Okay. All right. Lynn said that he and our sacred cow, of which I did bring out in my review, were looking terrible in the natural light. When they were getting into the car, they looked awful. And Robin doesn't have any lips. No, she doesn't. And he really, he was looking worse for the wear, to be sure. When he was in the car, his face, it reminded me of like a shriveled up apple. It was just kind of puffy in places it shouldn't be, very wrinkly, he looked 2 decades older without any filters on. Not so great. Okay. Let's see, who else is here? Steamfrog99 is here. Hi, Kathy is here. Hello, Kathy. Jenny T. Hello. Is it Jeannie or Jenny? Jenny with a G, maybe. Oh, now my nose is going to run. I apologize, people. Sam Stewart's here. I'll say hi to a few more. We'll jump into it. If I miss anyone, I'm sorry. I'm trying to scroll. Hi, Mama Squirrel. Hi, J. Lou. Okay, Connie. Connie's here. Hi, Connie Morris. And early, yes, she was number 18 hitting the like button. I said hi to Sam. Wanna Pizza Me's here. Hello, Wanna Pizza Me. Connie Morris. Robin Nolan. Hello. Few more and we'll get going. Little Miss Tracy's here. Nadine is here. DJ Tag is here. Oh, a lot of people, a lot of regulars, some new faces. Hi, Sarah. Still at work. That's okay. Listen on at work. Cindy is here. Hi, Cindy. 22nd person hitting the like button. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the like button, letting us know which number you are hitting the like button. I appreciate it. It also helps the algorithm. Easy way to contribute and help the algorithm is just writing the number that you were when you hit the like button. Rosemond Harris is here. All right, Elizabeth Murphy, good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. Number 32 hitting the like button. Candace Parker is here. Caroline R. Okay, lots of people. Carly, Danny Towns, Andrea Bevan. Okay, people, so much to talk about, right? Right, Tammy G, right? Hi, Sarah. Hi. All right. Where do we start? Where do we jump in? I haven't either. Of course, I watched it live, even though I was out of town. I watched it from my hotel room. We did it live on Sunday night with the exclusive SOS level, which was great. I mean, oh my gosh, it just flies by when we watch it together. I could just sit there and talk all day. It feels like it's 15 minutes long, but it's fun because we talk during the commercials. I think that's why it goes by so fast. Deborah, hello. Stacy, hello. So I had that, but again, I was working somewhere else at the same time. So I've been enjoying rewatching it today and commenting on it. So I got through everything except for the very last segment number 5. I still have to do that after I watch this. After we do this, I will watch and comment on that. And then I'll have all 5 segments to upload and start editing. So it'll take me a minute, but I'll get there. Might end up coming out in 2 separate videos, depending on what it looks like in terms of length. I did, I know it's a couple hours long of stuff already, but part of that time I got up and left and I forgot to hit stop and pause because I wanted to give a clap out to Suki for asking a good follow-up question, because I feel like positive reinforcement is important for those who need it. And she was okay on this video. Better than before. Way better than before. That's what I'll say. She was better than before. And as I said on the video when I was recording it, the bar was down here. So, But when she did give a good follow-up question, I wanted to clap and I was looking for my clapper. I don't know where my clapper went. I had it here for the longest time. I used to use it in my classes all the time, but my kids were much younger. I do middle and high school kids now. So I don't like hit my little clapper when they do a good job anymore. But I felt like she needed a good clapper. I went down to my basement. I started looking through boxes of old therapy stuff that I've put away. I thought, well, maybe I've got rid of it because I did kind of clean out around here with a lot of the younger kid stuff. I can find it nowhere. So my goal is by the second one, I will have my clapper. So we can clap every time Suki does a follow-up question. All right. So hopefully that took like a half an hour of time that I can cut out of the editing when I look at how long it is. And I'm not even done. Okay. All right. JLou wants to know, why does Cody have to force flirt with Robin? He knows he's losing her to another plig and he's freaking out. Yeah, maybe. I just am disgusted by it, really. It's so over the top. It's so forced. It's so fake. And I say it all the time. Thus doth profess thy love for Robin too much. We're not buying it anymore. Not buying it. Nope. So something's up. Trouble in paradise is what I say. For sure. Hey, Dorothy, thank you for hitting the like button. Number 50. That's awesome. Hi, Liz. Good to see you. Good to see you. Leah. Amy D, did I say hello? Joni C, did I say hello? Some of the regulars, I start to think I saw you already, Samantha, because you're in all the lives. And then I'm like, or did I see that from last week? Or did I say hello today? Hi, Mary. Thank you for hitting the like button. My Bic, good to see you. Hello. Gross. I had to yell at the beginning. Yes, it was so, and that whole, I didn't even really comment on it. I know I didn't make a comment about the licking at all, but his licking the picture, I know I did comment about it in general, about the concept of his fascination with this picture of Robin from 10 to 20 years ago, which would make her about 30 years younger than he is right now, which would make her probably older than what her daughters are right now. So gross. So gross. He's such a pig. And it was such an insult. That's what I said in the video too. If my husband just kept the picture, because he's like, every time I look at that picture, so he has the picture somewhere where he looks at it often. Every time I look at that picture, I'm like, ew, gross. Why are you looking at this picture? And he points out the fact that she didn't do her own makeup. Somebody else did that makeup, and that's what is completely turning him on about the picture. So the insults are a many here. Not only is he not turned on by her now, according to his own words, but he has to look at a picture of her from decades ago to get turned on and point out the fact that he's turned on by it because it's not really her as he knows her and sees her all the time. It's her based on the makeup that somebody else did on her, which quite frankly was more modest and simple. So apparently it's not Cody that wants her to have the big caterpillar eyebrows and the spider lashes and the plethora of other makeup that she plasters on her face. Apparently that's all her, because the picture he liked of her was pretty simple makeup. Although because of it also, she looks really young in the picture, and then that's where the creep factor comes in. Okay. Look at all these people. Cringe, says Deborah. So true. Oh, yeah. Darling. Cody was so rude to Suki. He has no respect for women. He interrupts her so much. And he repeats himself. He doesn't just interrupt her. It's not even just a lack of respect for women. It's a lack of respect for women coupled with his inability to fall into his younger childlike self and go, no, 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 no. Oh. I am somebody who repeats myself often, and it comes from my background in education, where you have to repeat things like 3 times. Say it twice, use different words. It's been a habit. It's how I raise my kids. When I wanted to give them a direction, I would give it twice, say it a different way, make sure everybody understood. So I get the repetition thing. It's innate in me because of my schooling. And then I just never got rid of it. So I could see how people say I repeat myself, but it's nothing like what this man is doing. He is putting people down when he repeats himself. I do it for emphasis sake. He's a pig. I say he's a pig, a P-I-G pig. That's how it comes out for me. Like it's an emphasis. Let me get this across. He does it in a demeaning way and in a very childlike way, where it's like you're stomping your feet and saying it over and over and over and over and over and over again, not 2 or 3 times, but like repeatedly. It's annoying. Very annoying. Okay. We enduring, yes. Joni, on Sunday night, we endured it all together. And it was fun. It was fun. Oh, goodness. Knit my bit. Gross. Gross. Never yelled at my TV before except for the Packers games. That's funny. You're a Packer fan. You live in Michigan. Are you originally from Wisconsin? All right. Hello, Dawn from rainy Central Ohio. I'm in Northern Ohio. I'm not sure if it's raining. I've been inside all day and napping quite a bit of it, so unaware. Even Robin was horrified with the lick. I mean, wouldn't everybody be? Oh, and to put that on, she has children who are going to watch the show. Can you imagine if you did that in front of your kids? Or you did it on a tape that you know your kids were going to watch? Or that your spouse said it about you on a tape that your kids were then going to watch? Be horrified, mortified, so embarrassed. And she doesn't ever correct him or be like, okay, Cody, she's like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I feel like there's part of her that's sort of like, I'm all that. Like she's still competing. There's no one to compete with anymore, Robin. When he's disgusting like that, you can call him out. Go ahead. We all do. Vicky says she thought Suki was so much better this time. She really tried to make Cody accountable. I think Robin is being treated too soft. No, I agree with that. There were no follow-ups for Robin. Robin could get away with saying, I'm not going to answer the question. But she did come in harder on Cody. She pointed out when he contradicted himself, of which he did that so much in the past, and we were just screaming at the television. So it's like, he just said the opposite of what he said before. Will somebody follow up? No follow-ups. So she did point that out when he completely contradicted himself. Of course, he just spoke right over her too, and then explained himself by talking about something different. It's maddening. He and Robin, they can't answer a question directly for the life of themselves. We'll talk about something sort of adjacent, and that'll be my answer, even though it doesn't answer your question. Snubbin's fakery is showing. Suki needs security with Cody's anger. It would be something if it ever got to the point that security had to get involved. Could you imagine? I don't think it would happen with Suki. It could have happened with if all the wives would be there in the same room together and somebody would say something that would really make Robin cry. I could see him getting up and being like, yeah. Oh, yes. Was that in the final segment? Because I have not addressed that when I was talking in my review at all. Maybe it's in the final segment where she points out, and I'm glad she points it out. I will say I'm glad she points it out because this is a situation that happened all the time. We saw, the entire talk back episode, when they had to sit on the couch and watch it on the screen, Robin looked down and did not look at the screen the entire time. It was maddening. Obviously, she can hear it. So there's the audio, but she doesn't watch it. And she wouldn't watch her eyes would always be down when they're like, let's watch this now. And she would be looking down. And they never addressed it. So finally, either Suki or the producers decided this needs to be addressed. And it was. But her answer was essentially a non-answer. Well, it's uncomfortable and I don't like it when they don't get along. And so, yeah, it's just hard to go back and look at this stuff. Like she's the only one doing it. Hello, follow up, Suki. So I am aware, but I believe it's really difficult for the other three wives and Cody as well. And they look because they're grown-ups. Not really. Cody's not. Cody not being a grown-up is actually even watching the screen. So what's your excuse? You don't have one. Grow up, be a big girl, and look at the screen. That's what she needed to be told. She was not put in her place. She was allowed to get away with that one. That was annoying. It's where Suki was not doing the job that she needed to do. She was doing it a little bit better with Cody. She's still trying to be Robin's friend for some reason. I don't get it. Maybe she thinks I can go in hard at Cody as long as I don't go in hard at Robin. Because if I go in hard with Robin, Cody is going to defend her honor and see to it that I don't host anymore, since he had an active role in getting rid of previous hosts. So that could be where it comes from. Or maybe the producers agreed that if she goes in hard on Cody, even if Cody says, I don't like her anymore, that they're still going to bring her back. But they didn't give her that same coverage for Robin. So she's just going to let Robin skate. Or maybe it seemed like she would be picking on the two of them if she went on hard on both of them. So she just chose Cody, which is a good one to choose because at least he speaks. Robin doesn't say anything, so to go in hard on her makes no difference. She didn't say much to begin with. And then if you try to counteract it, she's going to be like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember. That's the kind of answers we get. So she doesn't even need to be there as far as I'm concerned. Motherhood is ministry. Thank you for hitting the like button, number 80. What's wrong, buddy? First of all, we don't belong on the couch. That's number 1. Okay. Yeah, you got your little cough going? Okay, why don't you go lay in your bed? I don't know what the little cough thing is, but I think he has like a little virus that comes and goes. Okay. But it was nice of him to alarm me that he's on the couch. He doesn't belong. All right. Mama Squirrel said that there was swearing in her house while watching the show. I see it. I believe it. Robin looks truly miserable. Yes, Amy. Agree. Oops, that didn't show up. And is Cody now trying to convince himself how he is to be with her with all these comments and licking? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to make her feel good and secure in their relationship or if he's doing this. My theory that I had when I was doing the review today is that maybe he's trying to combat Christine and her outward love and affection for David. It's not gross on this level, although I will say the lap dance was more than any of us wanted to see at a wedding. And the amount of time that she talks about the two of them together and how she doesn't care about anybody else was a little annoying as well. But this is just downright crude and rude and gross. So he's taken it to another level. Maybe that's his point. Maybe he's trying to one-up her. Ugh. Rose, he looked like a blue-tongued lizard. He really reminded me of Silence of the Lambs, didn't it? Clarice. Really creepy, narcissistic serial killer. All right. Joni had to stop watching after that point. Double barrel middle fingers from here. Yeah. Lynn, we were all sending him right back at him, right? When he kept saying he had to put up the double fingers to everybody else. Like, yeah, we're right. We're with you. We're with you. Enough things that you said in this that made us want to give you the double bird that you like to give to other people as well. He doesn't even have a reason to. That's the ironic part of it all, right? He was like, and because of why? Because you think people are upset that you're in love with Robin? I mean, how many times do we have to say that's not true? Nobody cares. Everyone's moved on. And even back when they were all part of the family, everybody knew you loved her more. So that wasn't the issue. If I have to say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. It's the way you treated the OG3 and their children. That's the problem. The way you treated them, not the fact that you loved Robin. They knew it all along. It was not a secret. He just couldn't man up. He couldn't man up and love her more, which is fine. If you have 4 wives, you're going to love one more than the other ones. I mean, let's just face it. If you had 4 guys you were dating at the same time, you're going to like one more than the other 3. There's no way it can be completely equal. However, if you did love all of them, you'd love them differently, and you would meet them where they are, and you would meet their needs based on what they wanted. Christine wanted more touch and affection. He didn't give it to her. He wouldn't meet her need. Janelle wanted more time with him, sit down and talk through things and work things out. He couldn't meet her need. Mary just wanted him to step foot into her house on occasion. Couldn't meet that need. He couldn't meet it. And then he did the big no-no, and that is he messed with their kids. See, Cody doesn't understand a mother's protective love for her kids. He doesn't get it, clearly. Now, maybe he's learned, and he can apply that to Robin's kids and keep his mouth shut. We'll see. Be interesting to see if they had any arguments, if he ever went in on any of the kids and it became an argument in their house. But because he doesn't have the same love and compassion for his children that the wives do, he doesn't get it. because he didn't spend nearly as much time with them. He doesn't really know them that well. He doesn't get it. So he learned. Janelle left. And quite frankly, Christine sort of left for the same reason too. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, according to her, was him not showing up for Isabel in her surgery. That was the end of it. She was putting up with a lot of stuff up until then. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, wasn't today the court date for Christine? Wasn't there going to be a decision today, or there was going to be a court meeting today or something? I swear today was the day. I remember thinking it was the day after something, or maybe it's tomorrow. Anyway, if anyone knows anything, go ahead and share. I've been living on Robitussin and Claritin, all kinds of stuff you probably shouldn't be combining, and then sleeping. All right, I've been doing non-drowsy stuff, but can you imagine if I took the drowsy stuff? I would be loopy here, or just like, what? It could be really bad. Stacy saw Suki roll her eyes. I love last season. There was an eye roll. I missed it. What question was it? If I can, I'll write it down and see if I can insert it when I do my video. If you remember, I don't know. It was a whole, well, not an hour long, but 40 some minutes long. If you know, put it down below. Let me see if I catch it, I will. Hi, Black Swan Gothica. Glad that you're here. All right. Saying it over and over again doesn't make it true. That's right. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. We get to do a new season of this. I know, we have another season to go. At least one. We know that they were recording next season. Last year they had signed a 3-year contract. And I want to say, I think season 19 may have been part of that 3-year contract. I'm not 100% sure. Let's just say it is for argument's sake. That would mean that there's going to be a season 20 and a season 21 based on contracts. People say contracts are meant to be broken. Contracts can be broken. So, and it could just be that they're obligated to serve TLC or yeah, it probably would be TLC, not Puddle Monkey. I don't know who the contract's with. Because really TLC, all they do is they buy the completed program from Puddle Monkey. And Puddle Monkey is a production company. They did the whole thing themselves and they shopped it around. They sold it to TLC. So TLC is kind of hands off with all of this, even though I blame them all the time. It really is Puddle Monkey's fault. But when it comes to the contracts, I don't know if eventually TLC gets involved in things. We really like the show. It's good on ratings. And then they put out contracts for both Puddle Monkey and then the actors to get them to actors. They are, half of them are actors. The participants in the reality show to get them to commit to so many years because the revenue has been good in terms of commercials. Unsure. Okay. Black Swan Gothica said she would have slapped Cody if he would have made that kind of comment about a photo of her. All right. Janelle, can we talk a minute about what a rock star Janelle is in this episode? We see so little of her, and yet every time she knocks it out of the park. See, I just repeated myself. I do that all the time. I shouldn't draw your attention to it because now you'll get annoyed when you notice it. Right from the get-go, we've got Robin all nervous and Cody chatting away and saying disgusting, gross things. So clearly he's nervous too, although he claims he's not. And then there's Janelle, North Carolina, hanging out in a sweatshirt and a backpack. The dichotomy from her and Robin was like plastered on. Cody saying, I was in love with you back in the day when somebody else did your makeup. There's Janelle in the kitchen going, yeah, no, I'm not nervous. I've never been nervous to go to these things. So it's fine. Suki's so nice and that. She does ask hard questions. Lies. Not true. But that was nice of her to imply that. Throw a bone Suki's way and say, she asks hard questions, but Whatever, it's fine. She threw some zingers out too. She implied that Cody wasn't a grown man, and that's why he couldn't handle what was it that he couldn't? Oh, when he said that he was scared of what Mary would say if he tried to separate from her. He was scared of what she would do. She's like, "What are you scared of? Are you not a man?" She was like really quiet on the down low under her breath. And I was just like, she just called out his manhood. Did you catch that? So good. And she just says it really, meh, whatever. She is so relaxed. She is totally in her element. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love me some Janelle, and boy, she's the little bit we had of her, she was serving it up. That is the way to do it, boy. And that is really what's going to get underneath his skin, too. It really is. Little comments like that. She thinks she is. It can get under his skin even more if he watches anything like this, where we just keep hammering and pointing it out. Mama Squirrel. Mama Squirrel is so naughty, everybody. Anybody who might be new to the stream, just want you to know Mama Squirrel, she's a naughty squirrel. Yeah, Peach. Cody wants to murder salespeople. Talk about trying to derail. The response made no sense in his attempt at an analogy in terms of, aren't there salespeople that are better than you? You don't want to kill them. Therefore, why are people upset that I love Robin more? Like, what are we talking about? And nobody said they wanted to murder Robin. So, or even hurt her. In fact, no one really talks about her. It's you and your behavior, Cody. That's what everyone's upset with, for the most part. Oh, goodness. I'm afraid that this watch, I'm going to try to, it makes too much noise on this desk. Maybe I should get one of those little things that they had back in the day. Remember way back in the day on a desk, you could get a mat. And a lot of people put calendars inside of them, but it was just a mat. I think I need one of those on this desk so that it's too loud. I don't want to annoy all of you because I know it's louder in this microphone than it is to me. Okay. Let's see. Let me get back to where we were here. Where were we? You know what? Before we go on, let me go ahead so I don't forget and shout out. We have a lot of new exclusive SOS supporters. So let me start. I'm going to give the name of the big supporters because the exclusive SOS supporters are down below now. I used to have big supporters with them, but our exclusive SOS supporter level, our top tier level is growing. So y'all are by yourselves right here. And then halfway through, we will switch it and I will show the big supporters and the keep the lights on level. Everybody who supports the channel in terms of membership, I appreciate you. Everyone that supports the channel in any way, in terms of just watching it all the way through, watching the commercials, hitting like, commenting, all of that supports the channel. So I appreciate all of it, whether you're financially supporting or you're supporting in other ways. I thank you. I thank you. So these are the membership levels. We have the keep the lights on level. That's like $2.99 a month or something like that. So it's like less than a cup of coffee. It's just sort of a level of, hey, Jenny, we like your content. Keep it going. I'm going to throw you a bone. And the more people throw you the bone, the more it makes a difference in the long run. So I really do appreciate that. Don't think ever that like, oh, it's only $2.99. It's not going to make a difference. It does. And I appreciate it. I really do. So thank you for the keep the lights on level people. And they also get the little icons on the side that you'll see on YouTube. I'm looking at it through StreamYard, so I don't see them, but all the little emojis that we've added, Cody and the pig face and the doormat, because for a while there, Mary was a doormat that he would walk over. We can change any one of those at any point. So in fact, Lynn Skinner threw out the idea of the pants on fire emoji. So I made a pants on fire emoji that is in here as well. So anybody that has suggestions, go ahead and throw them out my way. send an email, put it in the comment down below. If I eventually don't see it, I'll get to the emails. As I said, my month of May is crazy, but my month of June is so much better, and I will catch up with you all then. Okay, so the next level up are the big supporters, and they also get a shout out here on the channel. They also get early access to the videos that I put out. And then the next level, the exclusive SOS supporters, we do the live stream together on Sunday nights. So that's the benefit of being at that level. And then, of course, they get everything on the levels below as well. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I don't say it very often, so I guess every now and then, every 10th live stream, I should mention, these are what the levels are. Our big supporters are Mary, thank you, Steamfrog99, April S, Liz S, Karen Perk, Leslie Reddick, J Shanty 3, G Kitty 52, Linda W, Carla Colson, Aaliyah, Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, Alwyn the Mini Shaft, Lynn Skinner, and Knit My Bit. Knit My Bit. Did I say bet? Knit My Bit. Speaking like I'm Cody. And then we have our exclusive SOS supporters, and those are Laura McWilliams, Dee Dee, Julie Hornberger, J. Lou, Jennifer Harmon, Carol Annie D, Holly Jones, Marie Lingham, Evie, Steph Stevens, Stacy G, New River Trail Contemplations, Vanessa CHSYL, Shotzi Peace. I should look at that. Shotzi's Peace. Anonymous, Tammy G, Marsha Cooper, Diane Almeida, Living an Eclectic Life, Farron Allman, Kendra MP, That's My Shoe, Amy D, I'm Your Huckleberry, Libby Sure, Lindsay B, Lisa, Soshi Tela Mario, Joni C, Lisa Gasca, Tracy's Fractured History and More, Alexandria Swan, Shanna Banana, Rain Lady, Cheryl Smith, Sarah Lewis, Sean J, Marie Crabb, Waldo's Mom, Lisa F, Danny Towns, Michelle, Ms. Lita, Ladybird's Mom, Donna Redmond, Jessica Denham, Kaylin, and Alyssa 1704. Thank you, all of you. And that is a big supporter level and above. I do the readout to all of you as part of the level. Okay. If you're wondering why I'm saying all those names. Okay. Oh, and we have a new member. New member, Meredith Andrews. Can I get it to pop up here? Let's see if I can. Come on. It disappeared. How did that happen? Meredith Andrews is a new member. And maybe when I come across it in the stream, it's not showing up on my other thing. But thank you, Meredith, for signing up to be a member. And Danny Towns has been a member for 8 months as of today. Oh, when I hit the star, it disappears. But it doesn't show up on the screen. Well, that's terrible. What's that all about? Danny Towns, when I come across and see your 8-month thing, I'll read what the comment is that's with it. Now I know. Don't hit the star. Live and learn. Don't forget, Jenny. Don't forget. Okay. Let's see. Nadine hopes that they address the fact that Robin was friends with the person who knew the catfish. I don't think they're going to, because they kind of addressed it last season. And she said, I didn't really know what was going on. She was telling me stuff, and I shared everything that she said with Mary. So they kind of brushed over it. Didn't get into the details of it, but at least they did address that she was involved. I do believe, though. Oh, this might be segment number 5, because I don't think I talked about it in the video yet. Oh, wait, what was it? We were talking about it on Sunday night. Oh, no, I didn't address this particular issue, though. It didn't come to my mind when I was recording it. God bless you. Cody is talking about being in the house while Mary is going upstairs to talk to the catfisher. So He knew about what was going on while it was going down, which is not the implication that we have received from him in the past. He seemed also surprised when it all happened. I have to blow my nose. I apologize. All right. How am I going to? I don't know how to. Oh, here we go. Save you from the blowing. Okay. So I find it interesting that we have gotten a little bit more information. We talked about this on Sunday night, that he was very much aware about the catfisher. He was in the house at the time that she would leave and go talk. He acted like he didn't know what was going on before. So now all of a sudden he's this, oh, poor me. I had to leave because of something that was going on. And on and on. I'm not going to talk about it, but let me just say, but I'm not going to talk about it. But Mary was doing this, but I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not going to throw her under the bus. Even though she, was just like, seriously, somebody came in with an agenda that we are going to talk about this. But we're going to try really, really, really hard to make it look like we're being forced to talk about it. Even though Suki was just sitting there staring at him. He kept going on and on and on. She did not ask one follow-up question, but he couldn't help himself. It was really good. That whole segment I really should just put in, but I don't think I can get away with it. So I'm going to have to chop it up in little bits. But the reality is she had no follow-up questions in there whatsoever. He just kept talking. You give Cody enough rope, eventually he does hang himself. Okay. Mouse squirrel. Cody's bow-legged. Robin is knock-kneed. And both of them together walk like an octopus. Is that what it is? Is it knock-kneed? She walks really funny. Maybe it is knock-kneed. Maybe it's that the knees are together and her legs are straight. Yeah, very kind of penguin-like now that I think about it. That's a good observation there, Mama Squirrel. I know she walks really weird, especially when she's trying to act like a little girl. But she always kind of walks a little funny. All right. Let's see here. Laura thinks that they planned it. They're being gross. Last week it was her. This week it was him. She was gross this week too, though, right? What was the other thing that she said? Oh, the aphrodisiac. The fact that he loved his wives before she married him was an actual aphrodisiac. It was not. Except, when we talked about this on Sunday night, and I have it in the video, it's an aphrodisiac in that she gets off on competitions and winning. And that's really what it was all about. If he hated all those wives and then he brought her in, she's going to be top wife right from the get-go. And where's the fun in that? No. She enjoys the chase. Just like she took away her first husband who was dating her sister. So she goes and she steals him and gets knocked up so that he has to marry her. Like, she wins these competitions, these gross, disgusting competitions for men's attention. So I have always said that this has been a competition for her, that she enjoys the race. She enjoys the competing. When she becomes top wife, it's not nearly as much fun. So then it became, well, how much time can I get him to stay with me and away from them? There's the new competition she has. Well, now there's no competition. So it's going to be interesting to see. She's got nobody to compete with whatsoever. Which is probably why, in my opinion, why she talks about bringing in another wife. Now, I'm sure she'll handpick who it is. I would love for him to find somebody that looked like her when she was 20 years younger in her innocent little makeup. Find somebody like that to bring in the family who has kids, of course. We've said this many times. I know I'm not gonna repeat myself over and over again, but there's the show right there. Bring in a Robin, a younger, thinner, prettier, more spunky, will eventually become like a wet rag, but more spunky initially. Younger wife with young children. And you need to adopt those children to make them Browns too. Mhm. And if she doesn't allow it because she says you don't need to do it, well, there's a whole nother storyline we can go with. But I would love it. I would love for her to have a taste of her own medicine. And I would love to see Cody in that quandary of, oh, I really love Robin, but boy, this young hot thing has got me going. Because the competition's back on. Robin's going to really attempt to be top wife still and keep her status. And I'd love to have one come in who doesn't even have to try. like a Janelle attitude, who just walks in and just is. She's just cool. She just has it all. Oh, I'm dreaming. Anyway, there is a part of me that really believes that it was an aphrodisiac. That's not the right word, but I do believe it did turn her on in one way, in that she thought, okay, game on. He loves his wives. Just wait. Wait till I get there. Yep. That's my take anyway. We'll see. Well, and that's a good question, Amy. Who is Cody flipping off? We didn't make that very clear. That would have been a good follow-up question. I was thinking the same thing now you mention it. Like, I'm flipping off. Like, who? The wives? Because I guess he was talking about how everybody is upset that he's in love, but it's really more the fans. Like, the wives don't really say they're upset with Robin, at least unless he's completely living in the past from 15 years ago when they first got married. He could be, because he just needs to also get wound up and argue about stuff. Like, it just fuels him, it seems like, to get into these little arguments and to be upset about things. So maybe he's pulling up something from the past just to be Cody. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right. Oh, you think Joni thinks he's trying to one-up Christine with this over-affection that he's showing? It's very possible. Very possible. All right. All right. Dawn thinks it's all acting. He's still pissed at Christine. She's living rent-free in his head. I love it. They're all living their best lives right now. It's got to be driving him crazy. I think it's partly why they got the new house too. Now, I think there's a financial component to it, because that surprisingly happened right around the same time Christine filed the lawsuit. But I also think he just has ants in his pants and needs to show that he's continuing to improve and be better, and things are better. So he's going to get a bigger, better house. That's what he's going to do. And it does happen to be large enough that he could have in-laws and kids and grandkids and all that living there. Gross. Ruth Ann said, he's so dumb he doesn't even notice when he shames himself. It's true. He's really stupid in this. He said some really dumb things. He contradicted himself so many times. It's just, he's a dork. All right. DJ Tag thinks once the money's gone, so is Robin. I co-sign that. Absolutely. I mean, what's to stick around for? It's clear that he's a pain in the butt. Even he admitted it. I need a lot of attention. Now I only have one wife. I don't have that much attention, and I don't have many kids that want to talk to me either. What am I gonna do? And Robin's like, I don't want to give it to you. And she's got to listen to the way that he speaks and think, ew. Ugh, the whole getting out of the shower. Do you like this? Ew, no. Cover up. All right. Lenti, thank you for hitting the like button, number 118. I appreciate it. Hit the like buttons, people. It's completely free. Helps the channel. I appreciate it. Oh, we're up to 131 with Cindy. Thank you. Okay. Yep, a lot of comments about how old they looked when they were getting ready to leave. Yep, when they had natural light and not all the fake lights of the show. Not looking so good. Let's see. Cody thinks he is not he is only not with his kids due to the relationship with Gabe and Garrison being bad and not going to Isabel's surgery. The only reason he is not doing well with his kids. Gotcha. Yes. He will find, he has said, oh, one of the regrets I have is not going to that surgery. And Christine did come out and say it was the straw that broke the camel's back, but that it's the straw that broke the camel's back. That's like breaking a camel's back with just a straw, meaning a lot more happened prior to that. If the straw can break the camel's back, that's the point of it, Cody. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, she mentioned that. That's why she laughed was because Isabel. I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone. I should have gone. It's not good enough." And what about everything else? We're still not really addressing it. I missed the beginning, both on Sunday, and that might be because I was just distracted, and then also today. I do believe that they said something to the effect that they weren't going to be addressing Garrison on the well, of course they aren't, because it wasn't even I talked about this on the recording that I did. What's so aggravating is the fact that they recorded this in October. They recorded the tell-all in October, and the wives didn't get a chance to see the rest of the season, or most importantly, in the season, the talking head interviews and what people were saying about them and about each other. It really affects the outcome of the show. We saw how upset Mary got after the tell-all last year when she realized what Cody had said. So later on in the season, she starts seeing things that he's saying. She's like, whoa. So she's all nice to him in the tell-all. I mean, not 100% nice, but generally speaking, she had his back. And then she comes out with her cell phone and she's like, I've got some stuff to say. We're going to have the same situation again this year, people. We are. They recorded the frickin' tell-all in October, and there was no reason for it because they did the mid-season break, which wasn't mid-season, but they did the break. It was like the pre-Garrison storyline break. All right. So we had 4 episodes after the break. We had 2 months, right? If I recall correctly, when I was recording this, I thought it was only a month. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, we had, I think, 8 episodes of the Baldwins that we suffered through. 8 episodes would be 2 months. So they had 2 months. They could have recorded the tell-all after they aired, or at least showed it to all of them. It was in the can. They could have showed it to them in January if they wanted to. Here's what we're going to be airing. They didn't wait to the last second to get it out. This is stuff that happened a year and a half ago. So clearly they were able to get the editing done and have it be out to show them. So they could have either showed it to them in January and then done the talkback episodes if they didn't have it done in October. Or, you know what? They could have waited and watched it with all of us for all I know. You know, they had them all in the can at that point, if nothing else. So as soon as they took that break, they could have, well, there was no other episodes to show. No. What am I talking about? They could have watched it with us live. And then there was a 2-month break. So they could have gotten them all together. They could have done because they only do it in one day. The day after it aired on Sunday night, they could have gotten everybody together. They could have done the interviews. They had 2 full months to edit it. And the month of the last 4 episodes. 3 full months they had to edit that's all they needed. They could have gotten it done in a month. Easily, they could have gotten it done in a month. They had 3. But no, instead, they recorded in October. So angry right now with TLC. No reason for that. Just makes for a bad talkback because Mary is still kind of, she says at the beginning she's going to speak her mind and tell it like it is this season in the tell-alls, tell nothings, whatever. However, I get the sense as this episode went on that she got more and more lenient with Cody. And I said when I was recording it, because I think they all come, they each take their time talking, they're by themselves, but then they bring them back, like you go have lunch now, and then they bring them back and they ask them more questions because they ask them questions that are in response to things that the other person said earlier. So that's how they get the reaction video. So they start off with your basic questions and then you have your response questions. Well, Cody said this about you, or Cody said this about this situation, and then they can respond. So that's my understanding. This makes the most sense to me, since they do know what other people said, is that they film a little bit, they get a break, do whatever. They come back, they film a little bit more, they take a break, and maybe they come back a third time and do it again. It seems to me that that's how it's set up in the same day. So there's absolutely no reason why this couldn't be done that day, the day after the last episode aired, before we all suffered through the Baldwins. Okay. He'd still make more sense than Cody. Yeah, it's true. No matter how doped up I am, I think I can make me as tired as could be and give me as much medication. I still will make more sense. I can come up with an analogy that makes sense. Done. Thank you. I will feel better. I just need to get through it. The problem is I was sick over the weekend, but I was in charge of all these people and I didn't really want them to know that I was sick. So I was living on medication to hype myself up and look like I was fine. So I feel like I'm going to pay the price a little bit this week for a few days until I'm going to let it work its way through my system, not take too much cough medicine, just let my body do its thing, fight it off, and then we'll be fine. All right. We're up to 150 likes. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. Just a small town girl. Okay. 156 from Bunny 12. All right. Where are we? Danny doesn't know if she's going to continue to be able to watch. She doesn't care about Cody and Robin. She'd prefer if the show was the OG3 and the kids and how they're moving on. Oh, how I would love that. I just don't know if we can get the kids to agree to it. I'm afraid the only kids will get to agree to it is Mykelti and her family. Well, maybe Maddie, because Maddie's been involved in it. It might be like the grandkids, which would be great to see, like the grandkids now. It'd be great if they would also follow Aspen now that she's pregnant. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Aspen moved? What does Mitch do? Can he move to North Carolina? She works for Kendra Scott. There's going to be a Kendra Scott somewhere else, or she could get a job at another similar boutique or something along that line if she wanted to stay in that industry. But I don't know what Mitch does. I don't know. I know he has family there, so I tied you down a little bit in that regard. And Christine is still there, and that's her mom. So when you have kids, it is nice to have moms around to watch, grandma to watch the kids. I don't think we could ever get Christine to move out to North Carolina. I don't. Okay. Christine says, I want them to ask about the fake fight timeline, okay, and what Robin has done to make sure her kids have a relationship with the bio dad. That'd be a great question. It does not seem like Robin and Cody should be allowed to have questions that are off base, off the charts, prohibited from being asked. And it seems like this entire time, that's been the situation with her first husband, David. Preston, whatever he goes by. So it would be nice if they would start bringing it up now. I mean, she'll give no answer, but it'd be good to see her just give no answer then too, right? it bothers me a little bit though, because it would only be her side of the story, and she's gonna lie. So that's the downside, is that he can't talk back. I mean, he can, but it appears that he doesn't want anything to do with the show. Can't blame him. All right, I am going to switch over to big supporters and keep the lights on level, people. Okay. Oh, yes, darling. I love Janelle saying she didn't know if she would have married Cody if she had dated him for a year. I laughed out loud at that. Talk about another dig. That was another doozy. That had to have been in the last segment, because I haven't commented on that yet when I've done my recording. Oh, it's going to be so much to say. It's going to be so long. That was so good. I thought she was going to address the fact they had such a long courtship. I thought, oh, let's talk about this now. Why did we have such a long courtship? Were we still married during the time? Were we not officially divorced? Was he kissing another man's wife during this courting process when he shouldn't have even been kissing her, because that's not acceptable in their faith? Could she have been married and not officially divorced at that point? I mean, I know they were separated and it had been a couple years, but was she still married? That's what I want to know. So, you know what? Actually, I might have some documents to prove that, because I'm so far behind on my emails. So I thought that's the route we were going to go down. But for her to say they had this really long engagement, I don't know that I would have married Cody if I would have had a long engagement. If I would have had that much time to get to know him, I may have looked the other way. We had a short engagement. It was what it was. In my faith, I stayed true, so I stuck with it. That was a insult to Robin for certain. Yes, Janelle has no F's to give. It's glorious. Yeah, I love it. Was she supposed to go psychotic? That was another good line, right? I love how Janelle is just like, I don't understand. What's Cody talking about? He was too scared to divorce or leave Mary because he was scared of what she would do. What? It's really rude of him to imply that she might go psychotic. Yeah. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you very much. Just so good. So good. Janelle knows a lot. Janelle knows a lot, and she could really go in hard. And I love how she's just laying back and just setting the record straight very calmly. Very calmly. I love it. All right. Oh, right. Yes, that's got to be in the 5th segment too, because I know I haven't addressed it either. When Janelle said that she doesn't like Cody and Robin. No, I don't really like them even. So I don't want to spend time with them or be around them. I don't really like them. Oh, the ego bruise that both of them are going to take from that comment. So good. Yeah, and it's true, Blue Bunny. Robin always felt threatened by Janelle. She had vendettas with Janelle's kids. She was rotten to Janelle's kids. She was not good to those boys at all. All right. Cody trying to be smart hurts my brain. That's funny. I'm extra funny on cough medicine. Thanks, Cindy. Oh, there's a lot to respond to in this episode. A lot. All right. Cody's tongue. Yes, here we go. Here's our new member, Meredith. Thanks for joining. It's popping up now, which means I'm way behind on comments. I need to start scrolling faster. Scroll faster, Jenny. Here's Danny Towns' comment. What do we think about Cody stating that he was in the house while Mary was upstairs talking to the catfish? James had a hot take, and I too called BS. Oh, he doesn't think it was true, huh? He doesn't think it was true. I was working. I didn't get a chance to listen to his live afterwards. Well, usually I'm asleep anyway. In all honesty, I catch it later as I'm driving a week or two down the road. He doesn't think it's true. I just find the whole thing interesting because he's putting himself in that situation, which contradicts what he said in the past about being surprised by it all and not knowing what was going on with it all. But maybe he made the whole thing up. It would be nice if somebody followed up with Mary and said, by the way, Cody said he heard you upstairs talking with, that you kicked him out of the house. He refused to leave the house. So you just up and left and went to your bedroom and were talking with the catfisher on the phone. Is that true? I mean, it's not that hard to come up with a follow-up question here, people. I don't understand. Don't understand why we're not doing it. Oh, we have 3 more episodes. Maybe it'll come up again. Sorry. 199. Yay! Thank you all for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. Okay. Steam frog. Okay, so his take was no man is going to be listening to them giggling away and not look into it. Yeah, like unless he knew what was all going down, right? This is what we talked about on Sunday night on the live. If he's in on the whole thing and he doesn't care about Mary at all, and he's part of setting Mary up for the fall, then if he knows he wants to go talk, she wants to go talk to the catfisher, and maybe even because they know that night the catfisher was going to call because they're that in on it, who knows? But if he knows she wants to go and he's insisting on staying there because he wants to hear what's going down, then he's like, okay, yeah, it's all happening. All we know is what the catfisher is saying, and Mary's claiming nothing's going on. So I'm just going to make sure that I spend the night there and I stay there so that I can hear. And when she picks up and leaves and is talking in another room in the middle of the night and he gets up and hears it, he's like, yeah, all right, done, check, we got her. So it may not be a complete fabrication and a lie because it's true what James says. If he cared about Mary and he saw Mary go talking to another man, even if he didn't really care about Mary and he wasn't in on it, he's not just going to lay there and be like, oh, she's talking to somebody else. That's right. Man's not going to allow that. And certainly not a man with the ego the size of this cat. So I'm thinking it might possibly be he's in on the whole setup. Then it makes sense. Because it does seem like he kind of didn't care about Mary for a while anyway. It had been years. He was over her. All right. Let's see here. Wadley Robin's going to look like the Penguin from Batman in a few years. Very possibly. Get down, Cosette. Oh. Yeah, she did win her first husband from her sister. Yep. She loves a good competition. She loves to win. Well, she won the booby prize. That's true. Be careful what you wish for. Take a good hard look at those prizes before you start competing, please. No, don't knock this down. My cat's up here. All right, Cosette. Here's a good question, Lunty. Robin said that Cody's dad divorced a wife to adopt kids. Is that true? I want to know. I asked that when I was making my video. Is this true? So his wife, initially he had the wife that's the mom of Cody. And then he married Janelle's mom. I'm pretty sure she was wife number 2. Now, he never adopted Janelle or her sister. So it can't be that he divorced Janelle, which is so confusing, wife number 1, to marry Janelle's mom, whose name is escaping me, but it doesn't matter, because Janelle and Janelle's sister, Cindy, I believe, never got adopted. So I'm thinking it's wife number 3 who's never been on camera. And my understanding is there were kids involved there. I just don't know if they came from another marriage ahead of time. Kind of sounds familiar as I'm saying it right now. So that's a possibility. But it's just proof of how much this woman lies. Because last year she's like, I don't know. I never said that. I don't know what Christine's talking about. I couldn't have said it because I don't know anyone that happened to. Those were her words. And now suddenly I do know people, but I would have never said that. Like I know of people that happened to. And in fact, Cody's dad. We went from I don't know anybody to, well, I mean, there's Cody's dad. Oh my goodness, the lies, the lies, the lies. And if it was Cody's dad all along, how did that not come up last year? How was there no follow-up with that? I'm surprised none of the other moms even said anything about it. Like, well, or Christine didn't have a comeback and say, well, Cody's father is an example of it. I don't know. Blue Bunny doesn't believe the narrative that these two are in love at all. She was the favorite from the beginning. The house is gorgeous. Wonder if Robin will ruin it by decorating it. Well, just stuffing. Decorating is a loose term. She will ruin it by turning it into a hoarder's house. She will put way more stuff in there than it needs to have, way more furniture, way more stuff on the walls, way more stuff on the counters, and there will probably be rooms that are just stacked with stuff. Dolls. Robin is Tweedledee, Cody's Tweedledum. Yes, I see that. Thank you for hitting the like button, Connie. Can you imagine with the awful purple pictures all over the house? There is a lot of brown in that house. Now, their house had a lot of brown too. No, that's not a toy. You're okay. Now my cat's going to try to take everything off the desk. This is a bone I was showing to my kids in class. We were reading a story about how if you find things like on a beach or if you're digging things up, we're talking about trash and recycling. I don't know. It was a listening comprehension story, and that was what the story was about. But in the story, we learned that when you're like digging for treasures and that stuff, you have to be careful because on any kind of beaches or public lands, that if you find any kind of artifacts that they most likely belong to the city or the state, or you can't claim them as your own. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm illegally holding this, because I thought, oh, maybe one day this might be worth something. This was in Alaska at a real remote beach that literally had coal on it. And we were staying at my mother-in-law and her husband had this tiny little cabin. We spent one night there. And we had to go outside to an outhouse for, it did have running water, I think, but it didn't have a toilet. So we had to go to the outhouse if we wanted to go to the bathroom. And to keep it warm that night, we walked down to the nearby beach. It was like a black sand coal beach. And we collected big, huge hunks of coal to stick into the fire to burn to keep the place warm at night. While we were looking for coal, I found this, which is a bone that was obviously carved into like a spear. Isn't that cool? You see the marks from like where the spear probably came out like a bone or a stick came out here, and it was probably used for like sword, fishing in the past. And the rope actually cut into the bone there that was there. It must have been really tight. Anyway, so it's bone, and I just thought it was the coolest artifact. I remember my I don't know what he is, the husband of my husband's mom's husband. Anyway, I remember him thinking it was really cool. You can even see the notches up here in the top from where that rope cut in eventually. Anyway, kind of cool, huh? I'm showing the world now. Now the police can show up at my house and arrest me. I don't know. The Alaskan police care. But I just thought it was a cool artifact. So we were laughing about it with my kids. And I'm like, I might go to jail. I've had this thing. Well, that's like 30 years ago. So maybe the laws were different then. I'm sorry. I digress. My cat's trying to knock it off the desk. Thank you, Rebecca, for hitting the like button. 256. Okay. Let me scroll ahead and catch up. Ruth, I'll have you cussing in English before we're done. Ruth, what language do you speak? All right. Andrea said the kids married well. That's true. Even Tony is unpopular. True. But he does love his wife and kids. And that is true. And I love Michelle and Bia. Michelle? Oh, Michelle. Okay. I was thinking, who are the two that I thought they were together? Michelle and Bia. Yes, they both seem amazing too. And Mitch seems amazing. And so does Caleb. Like, they did a good job. The kids did a good job with spouses. Tony was on the fringe there for a while, but I think he's gotten better. Still a little annoying, but it's true that he does appear to really love Mykelti and really care about the kids. I mean, that's what you want in a spouse and husband, right? And father of your kids. All right. Miss Molly's mom said the NDAs have to be removed from the kids. Right now, they can't breathe an opinionated word about Cody. According to Mykelti, they don't have NDAs. So she says she doesn't have an NDA. She can say whatever she wants. Neither Tony nor her signed NDAs. However, they like being on the show. And if they were to start spilling secrets or saying negative stuff in that, it would affect them getting on the show. So clearly they get paid for every time that they're on the show. And they want to keep doing that. So yeah, they said that they don't have an NDA. They also implied that and this was, I think, more specifically when she was talking about Mary, but Mykelti on one of her Patreons also implied by talking now, if the kids say too many secrets or say negative things about the other wives, and they say something that could impact the outcome of the show, they're financially affecting their parents, and they don't want to do that. At least the moms. I don't know how much they care about Cody, but so for that reason, and I respect that. I mean, they're good kids. They know their parents don't want to be on the show, and it's their main source of income. They have these side gigs, but Christine and Janelle's side gigs are going to be more successful if the show is on, because people are talking about it and they're interested in it. As soon as the show is gone, there's going to be a huge drop off in people who care about any Tay-to-Tea updates that I put on my channel, or care about what Janelle is doing. It might be interesting. They might still subscribe and follow them on social media, but they're not going to care as much. People aren't going to care about going to Moab and staying in Christine's rental. And I think a lot of people sign up for Plexus to be underneath Janelle and Christine, whichever one that they like, to be in like their team of people. If they're not on the show anymore, I don't know that they'll care that much anymore. So for that reason, I think the kids are saying mum's the word, the ones who would talk. I think other ones simply don't care about any of it and wouldn't say anything about it anyway. But some of them I think are doing it out of respect for the bottom dollar that their parents and the income their parents are making. Marie said that if Krusty was laying in bed listening to Mary giggling, he'd get up and confront her. Yeah. So he either knew about it, he knew exactly what was going down, and it was his confirmation that, okay, yeah, this is happening. We got her. Or the whole thing's a lie. Could go either way. Melissa, thanks for hitting the like button. We're in the 300s. Thank you, people. Thanks for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. All right. Cody put Mary out to pasture. Why do you think she was putting a banana in her mouth on camera? That's so true. She was into somebody else, and she was very clear in those communications with him that she had been put out to pasture. She had said that well before the catfishing thing, he was no longer sleeping with her. When he was in her bed, he turned his back to her. So there was no romance going on at all. None whatsoever. So, and then she fell into the catfishing thing, which is somebody who intentionally was looking for somebody weak, looking for somebody vulnerable, and getting in the DMs and coming in through the passage of, I want to invest in your company. And according to Mary, see, like these are the questions we need to be asked in these tell-alls. According to Mary, she took it to Cody and said, here's somebody who's interested in investing in my sister wife's closet. And he said, yeah, go ahead and handle it. Does that sound like Cody to you? Mm-mm. Cody, the man. Cody's the one that's going to take full credit for it, just like he did for the show. Christine went to him and said, here's somebody that's interested in doing a show on us. And so Cody takes the reins and runs with it. Talks all about how he got the show going, how he negotiated, how he refused to do it on a lesser network, blah, 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 blah. There'd be no show if there was no Christine who got this whole thing going. So can we believe the story that this guy slid into Mary's DMs and said, I'm really interested in investing in my sister wife's closet? And Mary went and shared the information with Cody, and Cody's like, yeah, go ahead and follow up on it, and then dropped it? Do you think? No. It all smells fishy. It smells very fishy, doesn't it? Seems like Cody knew exactly what was going on, that this person was going to do that. It is not Cody. It is not Cody to say, oh yeah, you take care of it, especially when the two of them are on the outs. No. So we need to know if that's true. Did she really go to Cody with this information and he say, oh, you go ahead and handle it yourself? Because if so, he was in on it from day one, which means if he was in her house and he heard her, it was him trying to get verification and validation that his plan was working. His and Robin's. All right. Oh, it was Janelle, Bobby, and Cheryl. So Cheryl is Janelle's mom. So was she the third one? Is that the order, Sam, that they were? So Bobby would have been the second one. So maybe he adopted Bobby's kids. That could be. We know nothing about Bobby. Oh, Cheryl is number 3. Okay, yeah. So then that would make it Bobby's kids that he adopted. I wonder how many kids she had. If the story's all true. I mean, why would she say it if it wasn't true? That's easily refutable by Cody and the wives. They would all know. So it has to be true, right? She's not that dumb. I mean, she's dumb, but she's not that dumb. Oh, that's a good point, Andrea. How he loved Robin way more than all the rest of them, right? He probably was willing to just like get rid of all the rest of them for Robin right from the get-go. But there's a show. So as soon as the show came about and the money came with the show, there's no way he would get rid of the OG3. So they had to eventually just leave him. He could be as rotten as he wanted to them, and he was. Oh, Hummingbird. Bobby was blurred out at Garrison's funeral. Ah. Let's see. Bobby did have kids when she married. I know that, I knew I thought they had kids, but I didn't know if she came in with kids. I'm going to write this down because I'm starting to create, I have so many sheets of paper, so. But Janelle was number 1. And then we have Bobby with kids. And then he obviously, according to this episode, married her to adopt those kids. And then we have Cheryl, Sheryl. I think it's with an S, which is Janelle's mom. Okay. How old? Oh, I think we know that. I think that's in the book. I don't have to ask that. I'll figure it out. Because she was an adult. Because he married, she was an adult. She introduced her mom to Cody to Wynn when she was interested in Cody. And Cheryl went ahead and married Wynn before she actually married Cody. So she was an adult. So there's no way he would have adopted. Yeah. So it has to be Bobby's kids. Okay. Jenny T, Cody, and Robin are trying to be 50 Shades of Gross. I think they are. They really are. Like, they're trying to be cool and young and hip and gross. So sick. Oh, we have 615 people in the chat. That's fantastic. Hi, everybody. And 319 likes. Well, I am happy with that. But according to Lynn, we need more. No, I'd love to have more too. Hit that like button. Thanks, Anonymous, for hitting the like button. It helps the algorithm. It does. It helps the channel. Every like, every view, even if you view the same thing twice, which some people say they do, you just go back to old episodes when I don't get ones out in enough timely manner. One of these days, if I had nothing else to do, I'll do these. By the time I have time to spend more time on this, Sister Wives is going to be, what are we going to do, people? Sister Friends, what are we going to do when this is over? They'll probably still have Seeking Sister Wives going. Maybe I should start in on Polyfam. Maybe I can do reviews of it. And I'll have more time in June, so maybe I can go back and start putting out reviews of Polyfam just in case that takes off. I don't know, but we're going to have to still get together somehow. Lots of whale bones in Alaska. Yeah, it seems like there's a plethora of them. But see, I got one that got carved into a spear. So how old is this? I bet it got washed down from like way up north, probably where the Eskimos live. And still do. Maybe it's not, maybe not too terribly old, but it feels like the water kind of, the fact that it got so engraved from the rope, though, makes me think they used it as a spear for a long time. And then they lost it while fishing maybe once. And then because Anchorage is further south. It wasn't in Anchorage, it was Clam Gulch, but I believe that was even further south of Anchorage where we were. I don't know. We're here for the bone. I will keep you up on the story. Be funny if all of a sudden you hear this ding, 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 on the door while I'm live streaming. It'd be so funny. Oh, Sandra, number 337. Thank you for hitting that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Okay. We'll bail you out. Thanks. All right. We're caught up to this shows how far behind I am. We're caught up to my spear, my arrow that's carved out of a whalebone, most likely a whalebone, yes. All right. Oh, Michelle, I lived in Alaska. The two things that we were told that we could not own was an eagle feather. Okay, I gotta get that because it's endangered. Scripture on the jaw of a whale. I don't know what script is, but anyway, jawbone. It doesn't look like it was jawbone. This looks like it was carved out of an actual thing. I think I'm safe. I'm safe. The popo are not coming for me tonight. Andrea says the kids keep quiet to protect their mom's income. Yeah, I think that's what's happening right now. But eventually, we'll get some of them to talk. Which ones can we trust, though? I don't know. McKelty said she's going to write a book. I don't know. I just feel like 50% of the stuff that comes out of her mouth is not always an outright lie. I just think, I want to say a quarter of it's a lie, a quarter of it's her not knowing any better, and then half of it's true. So I don't know how much I can rely on the book. I had a dream, though, that we read Christine's book. I got Christine's book, so it must be September in my dream. Christine's book came, and we started reading it, and she was spilling such dirt that I just kept going, I was wrong. It is good. She is revealing everything. This is amazing. And you know what? If this lawsuit is over by now, she could still be tweaking it. She could still be working on it. So it could be really good by September. And maybe that's why she waited for September to have a release then too, because she knew that the custody stuff would all be over. They showed the cover of the book, but you can have the cover of the book done well before you have the book done. So maybe she is still tweaking and working on it. And then it's coming out in September because that was a definite date. And it's when the season will premiere again and when everyone's life is really busy. And I've already said how much I'm not thrilled about that, but it is what it is. All right. Sandra on your phone, still hitting the like button. Thank you. I don't even know where the like button is on the phone. So that's good on you guys for finding it. All right. Lynn, cheering for poverty. The one thing that he's afraid of. Yeah, not afraid of anything else in terms of maybe the death of a child, maybe being cut off from communicating with his children or the ex-wives, maybe embarrassment, or like the only thing, if somebody were to ask you, what's the only thing you're scared of? Would anybody ever just say poverty? No. I could have been a single mom raising my 3 kids and poverty wouldn't have been the scariest thing for me. We would have turned it into a game. How can we stretch this amount of money this week to eat? What can we make with potatoes again? Oh, I love potatoes. I've been fine with that. It would just be a way of, we're in it together and we're going to make it. And you guys are going to be successful and you're going to succeed in life. You're going to go to college. You're going to have excellent jobs. You're not going to be in this situation, but we have to get through this period of time right now. Let's do it together. We're a team. Yes. Jenny's little ones. You turn it into a game. You make it so that it's fun, even though it's not. You try to not let your kids know too much of what you're going through and put a twist on it and push on through. That is not the scariest thing. But I could be a millionaire, and if something happened to one of those children, that would devastate me. That would devastate me. So that's telling right there, right? It's telling as to who Cody is. Okay. With Christine's R&B business and new book, I hope we see more of her kids speaking out without worrying about TLC cutting her off. I hope so. Let's see. It was very interesting. I listened to, I haven't listened to a lot of McKelty's Patreons recently. And I'm like, I'm very interested in anything that's been revealed in these past few episodes, anything that she was talking about. So I went back. I'm actually watching, I think, the first of the 4. I'm not watching. I listened to last night. I was in and out of sleep. And they're long. But her and Tony addressed the situation of Cody talking about that conversation that he had with Robin. Oh, that may have been the episode before the break. Anyway, he and Robin talking about when he went up to see the kids and he had that conversation with Aspen there. Somebody had written in the comments, don't you think that Aspen was upset with that? Because Aspen's very private. And she is on the show, but she didn't really talk much on the show. When she does talk, she doesn't say a whole lot of anything, and she's pretty private. Do you think that Aspen would have been upset with what he said? So they watched the segment and they both agreed that, well, especially Tony agreed that Aspen probably is not going to be too thrilled that he shared that. And where they really both went is they both were saying Aspen had to have been really hurt by Cody to speak up and say that to him, because that's not like Aspen. She's not confrontational. She is like a peacemaker. She doesn't say negative stuff. And for her to come out and say to him, why do you not like me? She had to have felt extremely hurt by him. And then there was one other line she said that he shared, and they were surprised by that too. They were just really shocked that Aspen said that. And then somebody asked what she thought about something else, and McKelty said, I don't know, I'll ask her. So I will follow up with you and let you know any other deets that I get. Again, in June, if the show is over and I have more time, I'll be able to go back and go through some of these and get some videos out to you to give you some updates on inside intel that they share about the family, which is not a whole lot. Again, we just covered that. 50% true, 25% lies, 25% she just doesn't know any better. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Sorry. I'm trying to catch the cough before it comes. It just comes so quickly. Okay. So that'll be interesting to follow up on. So would she say anything? According to them, she doesn't say negative stuff about anybody. And she wouldn't even approach Cody normally with this type of stuff. So I don't think we're going to get a lot out of her, but I don't really care. I think Aspen is so delightful. Mitch, I can't, he's so quiet. He seems lovely. That's all I can say. It was really good to see him with Truly on the bike. That was fantastic. I think making the urn, I mean, clearly he has a great heart and he's a good guy. I don't know how much he'll say on a show. But I would be happy watching the two of them being very quiet and saying not much of anything and just like raising their little baby and talking about it. Oh, just so happy for them. So happy for them. And I guess this is also, I had said for the longest time that both Michelle and Logan, as well as Aspen and Mitch, a lot of people kept saying because they were so parentified, that's why they weren't having any kids. And I always said, we don't know that. We don't know. For all we know, Aspen has been trying from the day she got married. And so how hurtful is that if she keeps hearing that this is the reason why they're not having any kids? Like, it's not any of our business. It really isn't. And it's not any of our business yes, I think Logan would make an amazing father because we saw him being an amazing father to the kids as they were growing up, but we don't know the whole story. We don't know. Maybe they want to wait until they're in their 40s and then they want to adopt kids from Africa. And that's been their plan all along. Maybe Michelle has known her whole life she can't carry kids, or maybe Logan knows that he can't father kids and they only wanted biological kids. And so they've decided before they even got married, that's okay. We're both okay with where we stand and it's going to be the two of us. And we're both fine with that. We don't know. So we got to really not talk about that anymore, about any of the kids that aren't having kids. Why? It's not our business. It really isn't. But if they talk about it, we'll address it. Don't get me wrong. And do I want to follow the families? Yes, I do. I love to follow Michelle and Logan. That seems very clear that will never happen. But still, I would love a show following all the kids. I would. Even Peyton. I don't know what's going on with Peyton, but I think he's in North Carolina now, which I just think is kind of cool. He's in North Carolina with Janelle. And he's like every now and then helping out Maddie and driving her kids to school when she's got something to do. And I mean, like, how cool is that to have Uncle Peyton do that? So that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what Peyton's doing with his life. Last we heard, he was a strip club bouncer. So I'm sure North Carolina has plenty of strip clubs too. So if that's his career path, so be it. Who am I to say? All right. He's a big guy, so it would make sense. He would make a good bouncer. He'd probably make a lot more money in Vegas than he would. Although he was in Utah when he was doing that. He wasn't in Vegas. Okay. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself here. All right, Jax. Hi, Jax. Jax says, I wanted to hear of Cody's 5 iterations of the truth. So he lies admittedly. Yup. Talked about that in my video. What makes him think that he can have 5 different iterations of the truth? This is an impossibility. Truth is truth. It's either true or it's not. You can have lots of different kinds of lies, but you can't have lots of different kinds of truth. And I said in the video, yes, you can have different perspectives of things. Like, your truth is different from my truth. Yes, but that's a different situation. That's different people looking at a sacred cow, and you're looking at sacred cow from the front. So this is sacred cow because we have the robin frown, we got the statement necklace and all the jewelry that she likes. And we know that Cody calls her this. Well, no, Cody doesn't call it a sacred cow, but she's referred to as a sacred cow. So this is our sacred cow. Now, somebody else looking at it from another angle is just going to be like, oh, that's a cow, or maybe a dog. I'm not sure. Well, I guess if you see the horns up here, you would think it's a cow. But at any rate, you have different perspectives. Different people can look at things from a different point of view and see it differently, just like eyewitnesses in a situation. That's why they're not as reliable, because one person looks at it from one angle, one looks at it from a different angle. They have different sides to the story. Okay, they're still telling their truths, but in the end, there was one truth. They may see it differently, but there's one truth. Now, this is Cody talking about himself. We're not talking about multiple people looking at something and thus kind of seeing it from different angles and having different truths. We're talking about one man talking about a situation and him admitting that he would give 5 different iterations of the story and then pick the one that works best for him in the end. That's called lying. 5 iterations of the truth. Then the more he talks, the crazier it gets. All right, moving on. Okay, Melissa says, I wish they'd ask if Cody had a chaperone when he would go. Yes, because in AUB, while they were recording, they were supposed to have somebody with them. Yes, and he has implied, this is a question I kind of want to ask McKelty too. He has implied that the kids sort of functioned as chaperones. So he always had kids with him, or a wife, but I think usually kids, go with him when he would go visit Robin. So what happened when they went to bed at night? That's what I want to know. Where did Dad sleep? Because you think he needs to sleep on the couch, and they probably slept in sleeping bags on the floor, right? I mean, I guess they could have slept in the kids' rooms too, although none of the boys went, so they would have just slept with the girls in their room if they wanted to make it a sleepover. I mean, he could have gotten away with it that way. He could have been like, oh, it's really special for the girls to have you big girls stay with them, so how about you sleep on the floor in their rooms? Or maybe they even let the girls sleep in the beds to get them to sleep in there. And then the little ones got sleeping bags and slept on the floor. And it was a sleepover. And they let the big kids sleep in their beds. And it was all special and fun. And then Dayton was in his room. And then her kids each had their own rooms, didn't they? She was so spoiled, this woman. Who claims she couldn't rub 2 pennies together. Any rate, They could have stayed in their beds, in their rooms, and Cody could have told them, I'm sleeping on the couch here. And as soon as everyone fell asleep, guess who go over to Robin's room? You know it happened. That's how it happened, according to Jenny from Senior Perspective. And scene. 360. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you for hitting the like button. Appreciate it. Okay. We have that 50 Shades of Gross. Yes. Polyfam is different. Yeah, it does seem like it is different. 375 likes. Yes. Oh, you were in Alaska for 6 years and they get transferred to another base. Mama Squirrel wants to know if I can still do lives from prison with my whale mode. I don't know. It's a very good question. I mean, if I can get a guard who's a Sister Wives fan, I'm sure we can work something out. Yeah. Aren't there a lot of female guards in women's prisons? I think so. So I just need to get one that's a Sister Wives fan and then just explain it. Go to my channel and watch it. You could become a sister friend too, but I have to stream. There may be lines in front of me as we're doing the streaming. I may not actually be able to get out of my cell. Nevertheless, I can talk one of those guards into it. Don't answer the door. Okay. LO says, I'm sure Jenny will do great with those who do watch Polyfam, but I won't be in any more of that poly anything nonsense. Yeah, that sounds like a crazy situation, that Polyfam situation. I just don't have the time to jump into it right now. Peach said in Cody's mind, he is guilty of loving Robin. I remember that. Andrea says she trusts Maddie and Gabe 100%. Anything the two of them say, I believe it. I totally believe it. Anything that comes out of their mouths, I'm down with. And I think Hunter too, although we haven't heard a whole bunch from Hunter as of late, but I feel like he would speak the truth. And probably Peyton too. Hasn't Peyton been doing some talking that he shouldn't be? I don't know. I think there's a few that would say stuff, even if you don't agree with everything that they say in terms of just like politics or worldviews or whatever. When it comes to the family, who would speak the truth based on what they believe really happened and from their perspective? I do think we could get Hunter, Maddie, Gabe, Peyton to speak. Maybe eventually, truly. We got to give her another 5 years. 5 to 10 years. It might be a while before we get truly. And then, of course, we have some of Robin's kids. Right? If we can get the older ones to break away and get in relationships with just normal people and start to see how disruptive and dysfunctional that their family actually is, and they can get them to see the light, they might speak. Well, Brianna might. I think Aurora, she's in it for the long haul. I think she's mommy's mini-me. But Brianna might sing down the road. And then, of course, we know we've got little Ari, but she's just too young. We got a long way to wait. I'm dreaming about Sister Wives, and that's not good. That's true. But it was a positive dream. It was a positive dream. I don't know why I was maybe because I was live streaming from a different place on Sunday night because I was at the hotel. I may have even been there that I had the dream. I don't know, was it last night when I was here back at home, or it may have been Sunday night after the live stream because it was so late by the time I actually got to bed, which was really Monday morning. Anyway, in the past day or two, it was a positive dream. It was Christine sharing all kinds of stuff with us. I loved it. Logan, I would trust above everyone. Yeah, it just seems that one seems so far-fetched that I can't even imagine it being a possibility. McKelty's book, according to Huckleberry, would be in the fiction section. Eclectic Life wants to know if the custody thing is over. I had seen last week that the date got rescheduled or something like that for, I thought, today or maybe tomorrow, because I remember it being like a day off from something. So tomorrow would be a day off from when we would live stream. I don't know. I think a lot of it's closed anyway, but I do believe that there was like something that happened and there was a postponement to this week. Again, I'm not following up on. I remember reading it and thinking, oh, we'll get some information next week. Good. That's moving quicker than I thought it might. Although that being said, didn't she file it in September? October, November, December, January, March, April, May. 8 months. It's like I'm 3 years old. 8 months. That is a while. It's still not solved. So it seems fast for me, but 8 months is a long time. Oh, I would love it if David would adopt Truly. Yeah. I wonder what Truly's feelings are on that. I'm really curious. I know she'll have a say. I know she doesn't get to decide, but I know that they'll give her a say just based on custody and like how much time she wants to spend with her dad, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out in the end, for sure. Sarah said that David's been a real MVP, especially with there being Christine in her grief. He has stepped up. I think we all collectively love David right now. If we were on the fence before, we love him now. All right. 397 likes. Oh my gosh, we could get to 400 people. That's outstanding. Oh, and that was a few minutes ago. That was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago. So I'm behind in my chat. 398. Tanya, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right. Just got home from work. Okay. Jump on in. You can finish up and then you can go back and watch the beginning. All right. CC Denver, how did you get to 613 already? Is there 613 likes? That seems impossible. Oh, maybe people in the chat. That could be. Okay. Mama Squirrel, his pants were so tight I could see his varicose veins like ropes poking through. They were at the funeral. Is that what you guys are talking about? Boy, his clothes at the funeral were so inappropriately tight. Those pants were painted on him. And then his little Baby Gap polo, same thing. 5 sizes too small. I didn't notice in this tell-all. I think he's wearing a suit, isn't he? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, Cody has a skullet. Is that what it's called? Where you have like a mullet, but you have it like completely shaved on this. Is that a skullet? Mitch seems like a good guy. I think he is. I'd like to follow that storyline with him and Aspen for sure. I'm gonna cough. Okay. And Melissa wants a spinoff with Christine and Janelle. I'm all here for it. And throw all the grandbabies in there too. And Mary. Throw Mary in there. I don't really want to watch her dating. I don't want it to be like that thing, but I would be interested in seeing stuff. I guess she's already putting stuff with her and Jen out there, but like they could dabble in just, it could basically be Janelle and Christine, and we could dabble and go back to Mary, because I just think it would be such a stick it to Cody to know that all 3 wives are involved in some project after they left him. It would be great. It would be great. Um, okay, Sarah would like it if the kids would visit Janelle from time to time. How come this won't show up? There we go. Help out at Tata Farms like they did for Cody's dad. There you go. There you go. Caleb could put him to work on the farm in the summer. All right. Owen the mini chef. Owen's mom is here. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Classless wants to know if there's chaperones involved, how Robin ended up accidentally losing her purity. Good question. Apparently she hadn't heard about chaperones back then, right? Robin gets what Robin wants. She has her way. Oh, that's true. He brought the girls to babysit the little ones when they were out. Yeah, because we saw that, right? There were no chaperones. There were no chaperones when they went to it. Now, you're supposed to be chaperones all the time. They weren't supposed to be babysitting the kids so that they could go out alone. There's always supposed to be chaperones. Well, at least according to 19 Kids and Counting. Oh, maybe the AUB is different. I don't know. But I would think it's not. And I would think that they went to dinner and then jumped into some sleazy motel for a short period of time and then came back and called it all dinner. That's what I think. So gross. Up to 450 likes. Yay. Thank you all. I appreciate you. All right. Amy said I can put the bone into a hat and then start translating a new Book of Mormon. There you go. It might have magical powers. We don't know. I'd look good in orange. Well, orange is the new black. Become a whole new person, I guess, if I go in there. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, you put money in my commissary account? Thanks, Mama Squirrel. Sister Wives care packages. I'm starting to look forward to this. You know, it's quite a vacation. You have no responsibility. People cook for you. You don't have to clean. How bad could it be? Aspen is a truth teller. If we can get her to talk, she's definitely a truth teller. She's not a liar. I give you that. I could run into Robin in jail. Wouldn't that be hysterical? And that would be. Tracy has been a member for 6 months. You love my channel. Thanks, Tracy. Tracy is from Tracy's Fractured History and More. That is the abbreviation at the end. And DJ Tag, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you too. Robin and Kendra know the catfish. Set up day 1. Yep. They both know her. Well, Robin knew Kendra and Kendra knew the catfish. So thus, Robin at least knew of the catfish. Whether she knew her directly and spoke to her, I don't know. But for sure, the connection was all there. For sure. 8 months for Alwyn the mini chef. Thank you very much for 8 months being a member. I appreciate it. if I hit the stars, if that helps or not. Tammy G, thank you for the super sticker. That is awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Was that a bowl of broccoli on one of the coffee table? I think it looked like one of those. It looked like moss, didn't it? On the coffee table? I think I saw that too. It was a bowl and it looked like it had green moss that was growing in it. Maybe that's like the new Japanese trees or, like the new thing that people have. It was Japanese trees and then it was little succulents for a while. Like maybe now moss is becoming the new in thing to have in your house that's easy to grow because it grows where you don't want it to grow. Pretty soon it'll just be weeds. People have dandelions. Just like when your kids were young and they would pull them all and hand them to you and think that they were giving you beautiful flowers. Thanks for the weeds. Where is Dayton? He'd speak the truth. This is why I think Dayton's not around, because he would speak the truth. So let's keep him away. I don't know where he is, but I would love for Hunter and Dayton, Gabe. I mean, Garrison would have been a lovely addition there, right? I think they would all speak the truth. I think Logan won't say much. I think he's just moved on and doesn't want anything to do with it. But I think the three of them would all speak. And Peyton too. Peyton said that he really liked Dayton. They had a rough beginning, but they grew to be close. So Peyton too. Yes. Truth to oneself says, Curly and Squarehead, having money is like putting lipstick on a pig. So true. Oh, it's so true. All right. Nicole said she missed the beginning of the live. Did we talk about his hair yet? No, we haven't, but somebody called it something. Instead of a mullet, it was called a skullet? I need you to define skullet for me. Yeah, I think he shaved the sides because it's ridiculous now. So that's his way of kind of hiding the bald spots. So starting from the bald spot back, it's all shaved. So now he's got it just hanging down the very back. It's the one way to do it. It's one way to keep it, because he always needed the sunglasses to keep that hair off of him too. So now he doesn't have to. He's trying to hold on to every strand he can for as long as he can. So this is his new way of doing it. Teresa Skinner. Teresa Skinner, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing, Teresa Skinner? 2 bobby pins were holding the sides on top. Oh, were they? Were there bobby pins in there? So he does have hair that still hangs down. He just has it shaved underneath. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, look at these likes. 423, 80% CMOS. Thank you, Deborah. 441. Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. Oh, look, it's after 9 o'clock. Okay. Everyone participated in the fishing trip, but brought their own activity. Yeah. I like how Truly was crocheting. God bless her. She's like, yeah, I'm not into fishing, but I'll go. 464. That's fantastic. Ari needed supervision. Yeah, she would have been scary around the water. Wendy's Front Yard, welcome. It won't. There we go. I was going to say, it won't click on you. I apologize. Anonymous said, Cody said, Robin's kids can't go more than a couple days without Cody, yet Christine's kids couldn't even get Cody to put them to bed while he was in the same house as them. Right? That came up at McKelty's Patreon too. I'm going to make a video out of it because I thought, this is good. It's good info. I think I sat up in bed and I actually recorded it because I'm like, I'll never find this again. Some are like 2 hours long. They said that when Aspen, that somebody wanted to know if that was a special trip to see Truly and how did that work out with him being up there? Was there an occasion that he had to be up there for? And she's like, no, I think he just came to visit that time and saw a bunch of people. But and Tony may have been the one that said it. Sometimes Tony spits more truth than McKelty does. So that is sort of the bonus of having Tony there is even though I don't always agree with some of the things he says, because he does seem to be a Robin apologist in general, he says it like it is. And McKelty sometimes actually even gets upset that he says too much. So it is good to have him there for that reason. He was saying that when Cody comes up, or maybe McKelty was saying this too, at any rate, they were saying that when Cody comes up, this was Tony's words. Tony said, it's at great expense to Cody to do so. So he would be doing multiple other things. And then McKelty clarified and said, not financial expense. It's at the expense of his time to be away from Robin and Robin's kids. So if he were to come up, he'll do multiple things. He'll take a meeting with somebody, he'll meet some friends, he'll see his brothers, he'll see the kids. So he doesn't come up and just see Truly or come up and just see the kids ever. Because it's such a great expense for him to have to leave Robin and Robin's kids. They said that he will do multiple stops on the trip. I don't think they realize that's a really horrible thing to say about Cody. It really is. He still can't put his kids first. Robin's kids still trump everything. And it's such a sacrifice for him to have to leave them that he will do multiple things on the trip to get it all done. Pathetic. Now, what did you find? Skullet. Did you make up Skullet? Oh, it's a reverse mohawk. Well, it's not a reverse mohawk, right? Because a mohawk is the hair on the front and cut on the sides. A reverse mohawk would be just shaven down the middle, right? What do I know? Look. Whatever happens, happens here. Didn't Cody say he would only shower at Mary's? Wasn't that a thing? He said she kicked him out. I know he would not shower at Christine's because he claimed she had low water pressure in the basement. I don't know that he would only do it at Mary's, though. That I don't know. Everybody asks about Dayton. Remember, since he graduated with 3 different degrees, he may be working at a job. If it was new, he may not have been able to get off work, even if he wanted to. Yeah, I don't know if back last year when Garrison passed away, what the situation was with Dayton in terms of his degrees. It was March, so I think a lot of kids were still in school at the time. Although they did the funeral, I believe, in June, so that it would be summer break for kids and whatnot. So I don't know the details, and he could have been working another job. It's funny. Somebody sent me a picture of somebody who was in the back. I clicked on it really quickly. I haven't had a chance to respond, but they're like, I don't know. I'm thinking, could this be Dayton? Because at one point, this guy was kind of hanging around closer to Robin and the kids, but then he was on the other side, just standing there. And if it was Dayton, boy, he looks very, very different because it was somebody who was tall. So it could have been like Dayton was tall and had darker hair, but the person had sunglasses and a hat on. So if he wanted to be incognito, it would be the way to do it. Plus, of course, he could have always said to the producers, I don't want to be on camera. He was bigger and heavy set, but I think had a full beard and mustache too. So like you couldn't tell who it was, but I thought it was an interesting conspiracy theory that maybe that was him all along. It's very likely that he was there and said he did not want to be on camera at all. It's a possibility. Skullet is bald in the front and party in the back. You learn something new every day. All right. Let's get 13 more likes, Lynn said. 13 more people. Hit the like button. That was like 5 minutes ago. Look at me. I'm still talking. Tish said it says 500. Whoop, whoop. You guys are awesome. 500 likes. Thank you. That was great. Yay. 500. Now we're at 501. Yay. You guys are the best. Okay. Solomon looks so lost, isolated, and unhappy since they don't allow him to interact with Truly. Yeah, it was sad that they weren't together at the funeral, right? I didn't even notice where Truly was, to be honest with you, but I didn't try. I wasn't looking for her. I just can't remember where she was standing. But we did clearly see that it was just Cody's family on the one side. And that's sad. I don't know how, and they showed no interaction. You know, if they would have been interacting, they would have showed it. The little bit of interaction that happened, they showed. They showed Logan going and giving hugs to Robin's older girls, Brianna and Aurora. And maybe Gabe did too. Now I can't even remember. It was only a week ago. I know we saw Hunter kind of walking away like he had already passed them, so he may have greeted them as well. Unsure. We need to let Dayton live his life in peace. I hope he is just as happy as a clam. 515 likes. Yay. All right. Cameras would have eaten up any actions between the OG3 fam and Robin's family. Yeah, they would have. So you know that's the only one that happened. Definitely. All right. Let me read a couple funnies, and one might be, but I deleted it, so I don't read it again. One might be a repetition. This one might be. Lady V, I was talking about Cody could be the nicest man in Arizona for all I know, but whatever, in one of the videos. And she said, I live in Arizona. Cody is far from being the nicest man in Arizona. In fact, I wish he'd leave. That was funny. I may have read that already. I'm not. I deleted it from my thing, so it won't happen again. All right. This is funny. Carol Davis wrote on the one bit. I don't know which video this was, but I was talking about Robin never being able to find a job. And then no, it wasn't that. I was talking about Robin, how she made the comment that she was only married. She had 3 kids and there was no second wife. You know, Miss, I live polygamy. I love polygamy. Couldn't find a second wife for how many years? 7 years. Still looking for a second wife. Either she was the last person somebody wanted to join in a marriage, or they really weren't looking that hard. Carol said, Robin couldn't find a second wife, just like she couldn't find a job. So true. Can't find one if you're not looking. All right. Cindy Thompson said, she was talking about Cody in that video where he was talking about his washboard abs. They're not necessarily Texas steel. They're washboard abs. That's what I have. She said that the fact that Cody made those comments about his washboard abs, great pecs, and buns of seal with a totally straight face and in full belief of the truth of what he was saying is the funniest thing I've ever heard her said. And she wrote, yeah, okay, Cody, you're in shape because round is a shape. So true. All right, last one. These are just some comments that came across. This was in response to the video, like a snake in the grass, when the whole baptism episode, when she got baptized. Let's see. I guess Lady Bird's mom just liked the video in general. I must have gone in hard on Cody in this video because she said, I really want to force Cody to watch this video, much like how they play really loud music to terrorists and during interrogations to wear them down. I actually responded, that's hysterical. It's like penance. If he walks off the stage on the one-on-one, he has to watch the episode 5 times. And he can't return until he watches it 5 times. Next time you walk off the stage, you have to watch it 10 times. Wouldn't that be funny? A senior perspective video is your punishment, Cody. You must watch. Oh, goodness. All right. Oh, yes, some super chats coming in here. Anonymous, thank you. Cody defines if he wanted to, he would. Yes. Right. If he wanted to, he would. Right. And also, if he had an opportunity to share his side of the story, Mary wouldn't have gotten her release. Right. Yeah. He creates all these stories in his head. DJ Tag, thank you for the super chat. She says, well, I have to go to sleep. I'll catch up in the morning. Seems like Cody's family had nothing to do with him. Brothers, sisters, sisters-in-laws. Yeah. Sad, but true, right? They were on the other side for certain. All right, sister friends, this one ran long. I apologize for that. I thought it'd be only an hour and a half because I wasn't feeling well, but you guys are like a shot of medicine to me. This was a lot of fun. I'll have a video coming out or 2 later on this week. And we'll see you again here next week when we talk about the second installment of the one-on-ones. Love to you all. Catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
I remember when Sonny and Cher got divorced when I was 6, and it rattled me.
I had a lover in college, and it was a little tryst. I was a naughty boy.
Things that make you go,